to a real debate. Here we let two huge movie fans battle out for bragging rights supremacy. I'm your host, Walter Mazier. Let's go ahead and introduce our debaters for today. Sitting to my right is a very good friend to our Real Reviews discussions. He's a big comic book fan and movie aficionado. Ladies and gentlemen, Impin' Ain't Easy. Mr. Bryan Porter, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Porter, you are 1-0 on our show so far. You're the very first Real Debates winner.
What?
I'm okay with that.
How does it make you feel?
I do like that, so I'm excited to continue that streak.
Yeah, you ready for this next challenge?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And sitting to my left, he has made an appearance on our Real Review Retro for The Meteor Man. Rave reviews from people from that review.
Such reviews as this sucks.
Yeah, people don't like that one, but it's okay. He's also a huge fan of the horror genre and a film director himself. Gentlemen and ladies, it's no drive. Mr. Blake Labriola. Got anything to say to your opponent here before we get started, Blake?
Porter, you're no drive. No Nicholas Winding Wren, and you certainly are no Ryan Gosling.
Well, I'll definitely agree with the Ryan Gosling, but the rest of it, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let's do this!
So,
all right.
just going to roll right off of that.
You guys ready to go?
Ready.
Okay, all right. Well, it's almost time to get down to the debating. But first, let's go over the rules, guys. We have 5 topic discussion rounds that these two have prepared for. For every round, we'll hear a 1-minute opening argument from each debater. After both debaters have presented their opening arguments, they can go back and forth on why their point of view is better on the subject. At the end of every round, I will award 2 points to the person who I believe presented the best argument. After those 5 rounds are done, we will move on to the lightning round, where the debaters will be asked a series of movie trivia questions worth 1 point each. The debater with the most points at the end of the game wins. All right, everybody, are we clear on the rules?
Careful.
Yes.
I don't know what
Yes.
that means. We're all clear?
Yeah.
Good to go?
Let's
All
tell
right.
them
We're all
who's gonna
good.
win.
Okay.
All right,
I got this.
let's debate.
All right.
Sweating in the jammies.
For real.
Reviews.
Reviews, debates, whatever. Okay, first up, our first round is our In the News round. This round features current film news-related topics. So many trailers. My goodness, guys, released over the past couple weeks. I mean, Star Wars, Batman vs. Superman, Ant-Man, Avengers, and the list goes on and on about how many little peeks we're getting at new movies coming out. We're excited to see some of these movies, I know. Not all of them. No. And that's what a trailer's supposed to do, though. It's supposed to get us excited. And that's what I wanted to ask you guys. What's the best movie trailer ever? We're going to go with Porter first, and we're going to get you timed up here for your opening statement. Are you ready? Go ahead.
Okay. Inception trailer number 2 was by far just an amazing trailer. And the reason why it worked so well is because the way that it was cut, it did not give away the movie. You know, a lot of these trailers nowadays are giving away the entire movie. You got almost the entire plot in the trailer, and you're not leaving anything. You can't guess.
Right.
And so in the Inception number 2 trailer, it was amazing. You did not know what was going on. You knew it had something to do with the mind. The way that they cut the dialogue together flowed really well, and it was just, I could not wait to see what they were talking about and how the movie progressed. It was so cool. Like a couple of the last lines were just really stuck with me. So it was such a great trailer.
Okay. And you're going with Inception. Blake, go ahead.
Okay. Although Inception was an awesome movie, I have no idea why you picked the trailer. I don't remember that at all. Blair Witch Project, hands down. Blair Witch Project trailer was amazing. However you feel about the movie, the trailer brought up so much hype to that movie. It brought along a whole other added element of media into it, and one of the first ones that made it clear that we are going to present to you a faux real story. And that just hooked me.
All right. Porter, that's all right for our opening statements. Why is the Inception trailer better than the Blair Witch Project trailer?
Well, the Inception trailer showcased the amazing A-list cast.
Oh,
you know, everybody had enough screen time in the trailer to really get you hooked. Be like, wow, they got Michael Caine, they got Leonardo DiCaprio, they got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they've got Ellen Page. You know, they've got everybody in that movie.
Yeah, big names in that movie.
And so it's just like there's a little bit for everybody, no matter who you like. And I really thought that was a really good aspect. And it really, like, you could not tell the structure of the movie, how it was going to progress, because it was fast. It was fast-paced, and the scenes, the way that they cut to the different scenes, It was just like, I have no idea what's going on, but I know I like it, and I want to know more. So it really got me hooked. Every time I saw the trailer, I got goosebumps. I remember getting goosebumps because I was like, I could not wait for the movie, and it obviously didn't disappoint. It was a fantastic movie. So the trailer did exactly what it was supposed to do. It got me super hyped, and I couldn't wait for it.
Okay, Blake, you had a comment point for that one?
Absolutely. Inception was like any other Nolan movie. I mean, the trailer, I don't remember the trailer. I don't remember the trailer at all for that. I mean, I remember hearing wah, wah, wah.
That was a famous thing.
Which was a pretty important sound, but same thing from Interstellar. You know, it was basically the same movie, same trailers. I think that, yes, it teased some stuff to you, but in terms of Blair Witch Project did everything that you were saying except for big name stars, and I think it's even more powerful in the fact that without big name stars, it was able to get a whole generation of people hooked.
I remember when Blair Witch Project came out, and I was just like, okay, it's a camera thing. That looks boring. And I like horror movies. I like horror movies. I've grown up on horror movies, and I still did not want to see that movie. And to this day, I've never seen that movie because I just
Never seen Blair Witch Project?
Never seen Blair Witch Project. I had no interest in seeing it. The trailer did nothing for me. It's like, okay, they're running around, and I'm going to be doing this all day. And I'm going to be seeing this. It's going to be shaky. No, thank you. Like, why would I want to go see shaky? And then the fact that it made people throw up in the theaters with how shaky it was proved that it was like, okay, that was a very good idea for me not to see that movie.
So making you nauseous. Okay, really quickly, I'll wrap this round up. I want to know from both of you, what are you looking for in a trailer that will get you excited? What are you looking for in a trailer that makes you look forward to a movie? Like, what would be your perfect trailer? Like, what are the points you look for in a trailer that, you know?
Definitely, I think, as I think we both said, that teasing the story, teasing the concept to it. But what I'm looking for that's a little different is I want an immersive experience. I want to be taken into that experience, and you know, I think that's why Blair Witch Project got me so hard, because it was something different. Inception, we've seen it before. We've seen that trailer 1,000 times before.
Okay.
I want something that hooks me right away. From the first wah right in the beginning, it's like, okay, this is interesting. The way you picture you see the buildings crumbling on the side of the sea. You see Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's got his voiceover, and it's like, okay, this is definitely interesting. And I want that hook right at the end. Like, okay, and then what's going to happen now? And then the trailer ends. It's like, no, more. I need more. Like,
you've just described every action movie trailer ever.
No, but see, this one was different. This one was different because, like, I could not tell anything that was going to happen. There was tons of different action sequences, but you could not tell where they were, like what was going on in anything. In action movies, a lot of the action movies, you can see what's going on. You can kind of just piece it together. Or at least I can. I don't know about you.
So basically, you want to see a trailer where you have no idea what's happening?
Exactly. I want to have no idea what's happening, but I want to be able to get the premise, and that's what the trailer did. They were talking about dreams. They were talking about your mind. Your mind is the scene of the crime. It was on on the title card or whatever. And so it's like, okay, I know this has to do with my mind. I know they're going in my mind through my dreams, and that's awesome. And it looks like a bunch of crazy stuff's happening. So let's get in there. I want to go in fresh without knowing what's going to happen.
Okay, I got to wrap this round up. All right, great choices here. I recently watched both these trailers, and they really did. I remember seeing them like when they came out, even when Blair Witch Project 1999 they came out. I remember actually seeing that, and Inception, obviously, I saw in the theaters. The trailer for that too. I think I'm gonna have to give this one to Blake just by a little bit here. I think you made a lot of good points about, we're talking about teasing the movies and stuff, but at that point in the found footage genre, I think that really kickstarted. There was a long gap in between that and like the Paranormal Activity movies, but I think that just shows how much the Blair Witch Project, innovated things to the point where nobody even tried that kind of thing again until years later. The sequel that came out, the Blair Witch Project, was nothing like the first one at all. So I'm going to give that to Blake just by a little bit there. Porter, I really love that first Inception trailer, but I think that more people are talking about the Blair Witch Project trailer and like, oh my God, because people were wondering if that was actually real.
Yeah.
Because it said, 1990 whatever, like people went into the woods
and filmed this at Burkittsville.
And then they found the reels of film or whatever, the cameras or whatever. So people were actually wondering if that was real. I think that they were talking about Inception after the movie came out. So the trailer, I think, interested them, but I think that people were really talking about Inception. They weren't really talking about it until after the movie came out. So I'll give that to Blake on that one, but really good choice with Inception. Okay, so that's 1-0 Blake here. We're
not
going to
over.
move on.
It's not over.
It's definitely not over, folks. Don't change the channel on the internet. I don't know if you can do that, Matt, but okay. All right. Our second round is our pitch round. This is a fun one, I think. Here, our debaters create a story for a certain scenario. In today's scenario, with both Marvel and Star Wars now under the Disney banner because they own the world, how would you two merge those two properties for a movie? We're going to go to Blake first on this one. Blake, take it away.
Well, I think that it should begin with some sort of space explorers from the Marvel Universe. And they are investigating new worlds, and they come along the Star Wars galaxy. And they get some help from some of the Jedi there to help them fight Thanos, because they discover that Thanos is a Sith Lord, and his name is Darth Marvelous.
Marvelous. That's fantastic. Okay. You're good with that opening?
Yeah.
Okay. Porter, go take it away.
So, say it's at the end of Thor Ragnarok. Heimdall is at the Bifrost, and he calls Odin and Thor to the Bifrost, and he goes, "I've recently started tracking the movement of a moon towards Midgard, but this is not like any moon I've seen before." And then it cuts. And then it goes into the story in A New Avengers, where there is this new Death Star, new and improved Death Star that can actually move and fly through space, and it's coming towards Earth because it's tracking Luke and Leia and Han, because after the events of Return of the Jedi,
Right.
they went to Earth to live in peace and away from all of their ails and all that stuff. And this new Sith Lord is tracking. He was able to finally find them after 30 years. He was able to find them on Earth, and he's coming to pretty much kill them.
Okay.
And they go to the Avengers to
You're right there?
yep, go to the Avengers to help. And the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange, actually feels this new magic, this
All right, we gotta
weird
wrap you up.
this weird force, if you will.
Oh,
And,
force, if you will. I like that.
yeah.
Okay. Your main thing is Sith Thanos, Darth Marvelous.
Yes.
Why is that idea better than the Thor tease here?
Because it ties in with Thanos.
Mhm.
The whole idea that Thanos is something more than we think it is.
Right.
I mean, what you're presenting is an interesting idea, but that doesn't really tie in with the Marvel as much as I think something involving Sith Lord Darth Marvelous of Thanos
The name.
really brings both of them together. And the name is
Well,
amazing. We've got Captain Marvel, we've got
Well, that's true.
Darth Marvelous.
Darth Marvelous.
Darth Marvelous does not sound sinister to me, though. If I hear Darth Marvelous, I'm gonna do what he does. I'm gonna laugh. I'm not gonna feel for the villain. So I mean, I don't think that's really gonna work too well. The reason why I think mine's pretty good is because, it brings it into our universe. We saw Star Wars in their universe, but to bring it into our universe on the Earth really it gives it that real feel for us. And I would love to see them interact on Earth with people, but still have their force powers, have lightsabers, have Iron Man seeing a lightsaber for the first time would blow his mind, and you'd geek out over that so much. And to have him and Luke to talk about that, and then you've got Captain America clashing with Han Solo, that would be amazing. And to see that all on Earth would be fantastic. And since they saw him when they first saw it at Asgard, you could jump worlds. I mean, I'm sure that there would be some battles in space because the new Death Star is coming. So I'm sure that there would be some big battles in space. Maybe even the Guardians of the Galaxy comes up like, "Hey, saw a problem, here to help."
Do you think the Death Star, another one is a little
This thing would be-
overkill?
This thing would be amazing.
We've done that 5 times before. I mean,
Stick with what you're
Death
good at.
Star again.
But a new Death Star in our lifetime, that would be amazing.
You think they'd come up with something better after a while,
Yeah.
have Thanos become Darth Marvelous.
Would you guys think that this? I know you said that it would tie into after Return, basically the current movies. Would you want this to be, because they're making those Star Wars expanded universe movies and stuff? Would you want that to go, because you're saying into the main storyline? Would you have that go into the main stuff with Han, Luke, and Leia, or would you want to sort of branch that off and make it sort of its own story?
I think it depends, because I don't know what direction they're going to be going with Han Solo and
With Star Wars, in general.
Star Wars.
And if you bring it into the Marvel universe, in any capacity, I think it has to be tied in because the Marvel universe is so interconnected as it is. So I mean,
Right.
I don't really think it'd be easy for you to branch off.
Okay.
I think it would lose something in that.
Right. Okay. Gonna wrap this round up here. Trying to keep on time. Okay. This is a really tight round. I love making Thanos a Sith. Darth Marvelous. The name, it's kind of goofy, but it's funny. So I love Thanos as a Sith. I also love the Thor tease though. Like I love the imagery. Just thinking of Idris Elba. I forget his character's name.
Heimdall.
Heimdall. Seeing
Goldar.
like there's Goldar. Yes, I'm gonna show a picture of Goldar. It's on right now. But yeah, I love both of those teases. I think I'm gonna give Porter the 2 points on this one though, just because I think he went a little bit more in depth. Because you're talking about Darth Marvelous, Thanos as a Sith, but I think we could have used a little bit more about what you're thinking about what to do with it. So just a tad bit more.
That's fair.
But
That's fair.
I'll
write you a Darth Marvelous bio.
Draw me a comic book.
Can I have some
That'd be fantastic.
retroactive points on that one? Just because I'm going to write
Next
you.
time you come back, I'll give you an extra 2 points just for that.
No.
All right. Porter gets the point on that one. So we're tied
Thank you.
2-2 right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for round 3. This is our best/worst of round. I pick an actor or director, and the debaters here pick and defend what their best or worst film is. Today we are asking, what's the best Christian Bale movie? And there's a lot of good ones. There's a few bad ones. We're going to go with Porter first. Go ahead.
It's not one you're going to think of right off the top of your head. I'm going with The Prestige.
Prestige.
The
okay.
Prestige. It was a little bit before he was more, I mean, I guess, yeah.
It was after Batman
It was
Begins.
after, so, I mean, he was pretty known, but I think The Prestige really showcased his acting skills and the fact that he was able to, like, deliver on a performance where he was the main character, but he shared that main character, like, the big plot points
Right.
with someone else, another amazing actor.
With-
And it was
okay.
really, it branched off from what he originally or usually does. And so it wasn't about him hitting stuff. It was about him using his mind against his foe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something we hadn't really seen too much of Bale yet. And it really, really, really blew my mind at how good of an actor he was and the depth of character that he had as his character. It was insane, especially the twist ending and how
Right.
he portrayed these two characters was amazing. He had to split between two. I guess I can spoil the movie, I guess.
Spoilers. We got 5 seconds for this opening.
He was twin brothers, but he played identical twin brothers, and each one had a little bit of their own personality,
So
and it was awesome.
It took more of him to act for that. Okay, Blake, go ahead.
I literally forgot that Christian Bale was in The Prestige. You said it, and I was like, what? Definitely The Machinist. Machinist was
one.
hands down amazing. Brad Anderson did an amazing job with a kind of Twilight Zone-esque film that Christian Bale portrayed that character in all of its nuances. He didn't need to play brothers with different personalities. He had different personalities. We're seeing a man who's going through these internal psychological changes, and we're seeing all of it in Christian Bale's performance. We're seeing everything from little nuances, little twitches in his face, to just the way that he moves his body. I mean, the way he's this frail kind of man, but we see something darker that's underneath. Brilliant, brilliant.
Okay. So remember, we're talking about best Christian Bale movie, so it does include his performance and the overall film. We're going to talk about the performance first. Why do you think his performance in Prestige was better than The Machinist?
He portrayed someone so deep into his craft. He was a magician. He was so deep into the craft. He had one line saying that you need to live the act, live your magician's act. And the fact that he did in the movie, he lived his craft. And there's this one line in the movie, his wife says to him, "You don't love me today." And he's like, "What?" He's like, she's like, "Some days you love me and some days you don't." And that's him and his brother changing things. So
Right.
the fact that he was able to do that and you were able to see on screen.
So the subtleties in those
Yeah.
different performances. Okay, The Machinist obviously sort of made Hollywood take him a little bit more seriously because of the physical change. Why do you think that was better than Prestige's performance?
Absolutely. It was totally better, much more about much more than the physical change.
Mm-hmm.
It was about him portraying this man in a very similar way as the obsession, as him being delved deep into, I mean, essentially he was playing this machinist, and he was so into that mindset, he was so into that psychological state that he's not even aware of other sets of his personality that are going on, that are being manipulated and being moved around. And the various ways I think that he portrays things in The Machinist about his other set of personality, his other sort of personality traits, without it being said in the script. You know, in Prestige, you even said a quote just now, and that explained exactly that there was a difference. It's spelled out. This is one person, this is another person. So of course you're going to go in the back in the end and say, oh yeah, I can see some of those subtle little differences.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that is just being an impression?
Right. Okay, real quickly, we got to wrap this up. So give me 30 seconds on why The Prestige, the movie, is better than The Machinist. Go ahead.
The Prestige movie also had another amazing cast. I know it was another Nolan flick, but the movie itself was amazing because I had never seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like magician movies and all that stuff, but I'd never seen anything like that. The twist at the end was amazing. The last line, "Are you watching closely?" blew my mind. I thought it was amazing because even though what happened to him at the end happened, he still won. And it was just like, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Why is Machinist better than Prestige?
Definitely still had just as much of a twist, but at the same time had a darker, more gritty, raw feel. It was something that was amazingly done on such a low budget. Brad Anderson had really created these characters and this world that immersed you into it, whereas Prestige was big and flashy.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Okay, I'm really torn about this one. Prestige, I love, and I saw that in the theaters a few times. I really like that movie. Machinist, I checked out on DVD after I was watching a lot of Christian Bale movies, and I was really shocked at how he was really I don't think he ate at all during that film, just for his performance-wise. So that made people take him extremely seriously. And the movie itself is incredible as well. It's so tight. I think I'll give it to The Machinist by this much, this close. But great debate though, Porter, super close. I'll give it to Blake on this one. I think that The Machinist really made people take notice of Christian Bale. So this was more of a performance-driven movie than The Prestige was. The Prestige he got to hold the weight up with a bunch of other actors. Like you said, Michael Caine and Hugh Jackman and stuff. And that's not a detriment to the movie or your argument or anything, but I just think that Machinist sort of broke him through that glass ceiling. Right after that, I think that was made in 2000. So right after that, he got a few other movies, and then Batman Begins, which skyrocketed him, and I was doing a lot of great films. So I'll just by a tiny bit, I'm going to give that to The Machinist and Blake. So we're moving on to round 4. This topic here is related to television shows. This is anything from related to a television show.
Too bad Nolan didn't make a television show.
It would be called Inception Babies. Good thing you didn't make
nice
Gotham.
Hell, it probably would have been better.
Well, Anyway, what is the best 90s TV cartoon? Now that is one close personal to my heart. So who we start with last time? Porter. So we're going to go with Blake first. Go ahead.
Hands down, Rocko's Modern Life.
Rocko's Modern Life.
The greatest cartoon ever.
I know you're
It is hilarious. It has both adult as well as children humor. It had likable characters. It has jokes that transcended its time. It's just, the animation is great. The characters are great. It has this wacky sense of humor. It basically was like Ren and Stimpy that was polished.
That makes sense. Okay, Porter.
Batman the Animated Series, by far the best animated TV show ever. The way that it was, before you even get into Batman, the way that it was made, they actually drew everything on black paper.
Yeah,
they didn't even use a traditional way of animation, so that right there is amazing. The stories itself were very reminiscent of all the Batman stories up to that point. They really captured the character incredibly well. It also had fantastic themes for children and adults, and the score was amazing. The score was absolutely amazing, and the TV show stuck with me so many times, with certain episodes that I watched when I was a kid in '93 and '94. I still remember to this day. without seeing it in like almost 20 years.
Right.
Or actually 20 years.
Okay.
God, I'm old.
All right. It's a good open. All right. Go ahead and try to tear him down there, Blake.
Yeah, why so serious? I mean, Batman, it was just such a serious cartoon. Like, I have tried many times to go back and watch Batman, and yeah, you know, it's entertaining to me, but I go back and I watch it, and I can't watch more than an episode because I'm just kind of bored. I'm uninterested. I mean, this is what I think. I think that Rocko's Modern Life is something that it has the attention span for kids. If we're talking about a kid's show, I think that what was really brilliant about it, you know, they were 2 episodes in 1/2 hour or 20 minutes, whatever you want to say. And it really catered directly to just a couple of lightning fast jokes, and its storytelling in such a small amount of time was perfect. Perfect.
Okay. Anything?
Well, Batman the Animated Series, yes, while it was a little darker, I watched it as a child. I watched it. It came out, what, 93, right? 92, 93.
Mm-hmm.
I was 3, 4, 5 years old when it came out. And I remember watching it on TV when it came out and loving it. Like, and then as reruns, as it got older, I was able to get the thematic elements a little bit more. It still held my interest even more because I got even more of it. And to see Batman, you know, fighting the villains or whatever, but the dialogue between them, you could pick it up as a child, but you appreciated it also as an adult. You know, you appreciate it as a child and as an adult. So no matter the age that you watch it, you're still going to have a good time.
Okay. But you're talking about your interpretation of Batman. You watching it.
Okay.
As opposed to general kind of audiences.
At that time, I never read a comic in my life. You know, I didn't read comics till I was way older.
No. But that's
so, I mean,
what I'm saying is you're defining your experience watching Batman.
Okay,
you know,
but
we're talking generally about 90s cartoons and, you know, how the public views them.
Okay.
You know,
but
your one experience.
Okay, but that cartoon never gave me, or that cartoon gave me something that no other cartoon ever had. I don't, like, any of the thousands of, like, TV shows I used to watch throughout the 90s of cartoons, I don't remember nearly as many episodes as I do for the Batman the Animated Series. I remember lines from Batman the Animated Series. I remember the score. I remember the Joker's theme on the laughing fish and how he was walking up the ladder from the thing. I remember the way that the fish looked and how it made me feel. And when the Joker gave the laughing gas, I remember how it made me feel as a child, and it still creeps me out to this day.
Okay, really quickly, we got about 30 seconds. What moments do you remember from Rocko that stand out for you, and why is it popular still?
Oh, absolutely. I remember the spring cleaning episode. I remember RECYCLE, recycle, CONSERV, conserve, more goods, children's messages.
That's true.
But I also remember some of the more adult jokes. You know, I remember one where they're going on a road trip and Heifer gets into their little buggy and he pops in a tape that says the very best rock tunes of the 1990s as done by the Highland Bagpipe Band. And it's just, it's like, born to be wild. I remember laughing for a good 15 minutes.
Okay. All right, we got to wrap this up here.
One more. Just one
hurry, like 10 seconds, go.
Episode, Perchance to Dream, one of the last lines in the episode, I'll see you in your nightmares. One of the best lines in the entire series.
Okay.
Stolen.
Okay, stolen. Okay, really close here. Blake, great argument on Rocko's Modern Life. Porter, great argument on Batman the Animated Series. I think when we look back at these two shows, they are still popular with people our age. And I think what I'm going to put into this argument here is that I think more people, still check out Batman the Animated Series than Rocko. I mean, just when I still remember Rocko, you still remember Rocko, but I think that not as many like younger or older people remember that show as much as Batman. Batman the Animated Series defined Batman, I think, in a way, mostly because of Kevin Conroy's voice. I mean, people still consider him Batman. Like that's all they want to hear on these animated movies is Kevin Conroy. Mm-hmm. He's putting these other actors out of jobs because all the fans are demanding to hear him.
And Mark Hamill.
And Mark Hamill as the Joker also created. That's another thing I forgot. You should have said that during your argument.
I should have.
But yeah, I mean, all the things you're talking about are good points, but they were not said in the argument.
Yeah, they weren't. But just from what he said, though, I mean, and you did make a lot of points about the actual show in general and everything. So I think just it barely edged it out. I think I'm gonna have to give it to Batman the Animated Series. Blake, great argument though. I can feel the passion. I'm doing my best to be unbiased here. I swear.
It was a lose-lose when Batman was picked.
No, it's not.
It's impossible.
Not. It's all right. All right, we're going to move on to the fifth and final round, guys. This is our mystery round, which basically means it can be about anything I want. There are always a lot of movies that get snubbed at the Academy Awards. I think we all can agree that really great movies. So here's a question for you guys. Since 2000, what is the greatest movie to not be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars? We're going to go to Porter first on this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to laugh, but I'm going to go with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
That movie was, I have seen, in my opinion, 3 perfect 10s as movies in my entire life, and Guardians of the Galaxy was one of them. It had everything. It had comedy. It had, action. It had depth of characters. It had drama. It was perfect in every way. The way it was shot, the way, the score, the soundtrack was amazing. The way they incorporated the soundtrack into the character's life and how it influenced him. Like, everything about that movie was amazing. And that's what you look for in an Academy Award-nominated movie, and yet the Academy Awards don't even acknowledge a movie of that caliber because it's a superhero movie. Obviously, it can't be that good. We get movies, most of the times on the Academy Award movies are ones I've never heard of. Yeah,
sure.
Something like Guardians.
Smaller movies, 10 seconds.
Yeah, like Guardians of the Galaxy was big budget. It was amazing. It was everything it was supposed to be.
Okay. Blake, go ahead.
So I think the reason you haven't heard of the other movies is because they were movies that were intelligent.
Oh, jeez.
Mine goes in for Requiem for a Dream.
That was a shot.
Requiem for a Dream was a movie that had every single aspect of it is a poster child for how filmmaking should be done. Cinematography, sound design, music, all of it tied in. The way that the music was actually set up like an actual orchestra, a requiem, from beginning to the end, through each one of their seasons, brilliant. The way the cinematography had enhanced it. I don't know a movie that can make me scared of a refrigerator. I was scared of a refrigerator, and it sounds ridiculous, but it was true. And then the message, what a powerful message, that you are essentially in, you don't have anything left for you when you have this dream, this dream that is crushed.
Okay. All right. Why is Guardians why was it more of a travesty that it wasn't nominated than Requiem for a Dream?
Because you look at all these, you say, oh, it wasn't intelligent. It was intelligent. The dialogue, the way that the script was written, the way everything, the characters flowed, the way that you took these characters that were completely different from all walks of life, brought them together, hated each other, and then they worked together to solve this problem was amazing.
Like the Dirty Dozen.
No, but you had a way bigger feel for these characters than I think you would have for the Dirty Dozen. Okay, so the way that it was put together was fantastic. It was so well received, and the fact that it even though it was perfect, it was a box office just monster.
It was.
It still wasn't going to be considered at all because it's a superhero movie, and these aren't taken seriously when these movies are Academy Award caliber movies, but no one's going to even look at it because it's a superhero movie, and that totally is not fair to the movie itself. You're not going to look at it, and you're not going to go in there thinking, this is an amazing movie, because it's a superhero movie. When you come out and your mind's blown, it's like, that was awesome, and then you get all these other movies that you never even heard of.
Okay, why was it a travesty? Before you go back on that, why do you think it was like just a travesty that wasn't nominated for
that Requiem for a Dream wasn't nominated?
Right.
It wasn't. It was a travesty because
it had miscarriage of justice.
Miscarriage of justice.
Wow.
It had everything that combined into it for a perfect picture. It had everything from performances. As I said before, all the elements came together in that movie. I'm teaching a class, and I tell people and I show people Requiem for a Dream and say this is the staple of you can probably only watch it a couple of times, but that's not the point. The point is that it is getting at the heart of what makes a film a film. As opposed to Guardians of the Galaxy, which, it was fun. We went there, we had a good time. You laughed at the raccoon, You move on. But Requiem for a Dream haunts my dreams and my nightmares to this day.
Okay.
Okay. Final points, like 15 seconds. Go ahead.
So it sounds like your movie's damn near a scary movie, you know. But you're perpetuating the problem with the Academy Award. It's got to like leave you with this horrible feeling. It's got this horrible, you know, bad.
What's your definition of an Academy Award-winning movie?
What do you mean?
What's an Academy Award-winning movie?
Something that is amazing on all points, and it leaves you with the feeling. But all these movies are all like, a lot of these movies are like very mature, thematic, like bad. Like a lot of them are just bad.
Right. You don't like how it's all negative things. That
Yeah, a
happen
lot of
in this.
negative.
Okay, we got to go to Blake here. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive. It's absolutely about. It's absolutely about the quality of the filmmaking and about what goes into actually making the film. Message is part of it, but really what it should be about, it should not be about happy, fuzzy, dark feelings. It should really be about technique, and Requiem for a Dream had that.
Okay. All right, we're going to wrap this one up here. Good argument on both of your guys' points there. I'm going to give this one to Blake. Blake, I think you get to come at it from a filmmaker's perspective, and you're talking about why, a little bit more detail about, you know, the way shots were set up, and well, not exactly, but you know what I mean. Things like that where I think Porter, I love Guardians. I gave it a 10. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. But and I do agree with you that that superhero movies are looked, you know, passed over by the Academy because they're superhero movies. I do agree with that point, but I think Blake made a little bit better on why Requiem for a Dream was a little bit more innovative, I think, and it sticks with you a little bit longer probably because of how dark that subject is, whether that's a good or a bad thing. It sticks with you. So I'm going to give Blake the points on that, and that means that as of right now, Blake is in the league with 6. You have 4 points here, and we're going to go on to the lightning round, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. All right. Here the debaters will be asked a series of movie trivia questions worth 1 point each. Each of you will individually have 2 minutes to answer as many of the 15 questions we have prepared as you can. If you don't know the answer, you can always pass at any time, but please note, you cannot go back around to a question that you passed on, okay? So once you pass on it, that's it. We'll go with Blake first. Blake, are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. You're in the lead with 6 right now. This is a tight debate here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, ready? And here we go. What time period or era does the majority of Back to the Future Part 3 take place in?
1950s?
No, 1885, Old West. Question number 2, who played the role of the Joker in 2008's The Dark Knight?
Oh, God. Heath Ledger.
That's correct. Which of the following was not one of the 4 Ghostbusters? Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, or Bill Murray?
Rick Moranis.
That's correct. Name one of the 3 movies that are tied for the most Academy Award wins.
Titanic?
That's one of them, correct. What actor won the Best Supporting Actor Award for his performance as Bela Lugosi in Ed Wood?
Pass.
Okay. In the film Children of the Corn, what book can be seen sitting on the dashboard while the characters are driving?
Bible?
No, Night Shift. What planet does Arnold Schwarzenegger visit in Total Recall?
Mars.
That's correct. What late actor played Gomez Addams in The Addams Family?
Pass.
What is the name of Pinocchio's insect mentor? We're at 105.
Jiminy Cricket.
Correct. In Rocky 3, how many title defenses is Rocky said to have had?
4.
Incorrect. 10. At the very end of the film, what song does the Blues Brothers Band play? In the film Hellraiser, what was Pinhead's name as a human?
Pass.
What actor plays the Nazi villain in The Rocketeer?
Pass.
What film finally showcased Robert De Niro and Al Pacino interacting with each other on screen for the first time?
Pass.
Okay, last question. Who played Captain Hook in 1991's Hook? Okay, 13 seconds.
What's his name? Dustin Hoffman.
Correct. All right. Good round there, Blake. Okay, so that will get you up there. 15. Okay. Porter, are you ready?
Yeah, I need quite a bit.
Porter, you currently have 4 points, so you're going to need
Awesome.
out of these 15 questions that we
can
have
do it.
prepared.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Come on, where's the confidence, man? Come on.
I am confident.
Okay. Are you ready?
All right.
2 minutes starts now. Who directed 1989's Batman film simply titled Batman?
Tim Burton.
Correct. What Chicago South suburban city are the Blues Brothers from? They also are trying to raise money throughout the original film to keep the orphanage in the city open.
Joliet.
Calumet City. Which film won 8 Academy Awards in 1954? On the Waterfront, The Caine Mutiny, or Rear Window?
Rear Window.
Incorrect, on the Waterfront. 2 big major motion pictures in 1986 involved brothers separated in childhood but reunited in adult life. Identify one.
I don't know.
It's Rain Man and Twins. What line does Wesley use to remind Buttercup of his identity in Princess Bride?
Don't know.
What vintage cartoon character was revived in a 1995 film starring Christina Ricci and Bill Pullman?
Say that again?
What vintage cartoon character was revived in a 1995 film starring Christina Ricci and Bill Pullman?
I don't know.
Cats with Friendly Ghosts. What type of field does Kevin Costner plow up to build his baseball diamond in Field of Dreams?
Cornfield?
That's correct. What was the name of the camp where most of the killings take place in the early Friday the 13th films?
Silver Lake.
Camp Crystal Lake. How many years does the genie say he has been trapped in the lamp in Aladdin?
10,000.
That's correct. In Rocky Balboa, what actor plays Rocky's only son?
Milo Ventimiglia.
Correct. In Back to the Future Part 3, what is the original name of the ravine Clara Clayton was supposed to die falling off of?
Shonash Ravine.
Correct. What is Michael Myers' middle name in the Halloween movie?
Jeffrey.
Audrey. The name of this 1976 drama and the occupation of Robert De Niro in the film are the same. Name this movie. 15 seconds.
The Teacher?
Taxi Driver. Who directed the first 3 Spider-Man movies?
Sam Raimi.
Correct. What was the name of the main villain in the original Die Hard film?
Hans Gruber.
Correct. All right, we got through all of them.
Didn't get it.
You got 7 right.
Close.
7
Close.
plus 4 only equals 11. At least that's what I was taught in my terrible math teacher's class. Okay, so just barely edge out, actually. You went up with 11.
Pretty close.
That was tight,
pretty
guys.
close.
Blake, you won this one. Congratulations. I give you a golf clap on that. Okay, so now you are 1-1 here, still with a victory in our very first real debates.
Yeah.
So very good win there, Blake. How's it make you feel?
Special.
Special?
Makes me feel really special.
Welcome to the club.
Up to the club. Well, maybe
I felt so left out from the club.
maybe we'll have a
I say?
rematch down the road at some point.
Definitely.
But I'd like to thank Blake Labriola and Bryan Porter for debating with us today. Gentlemen, it's been real. Okay. Well, I hope to have you guys back on the show very soon. Be on the lookout for more episodes of Real Debates and more real reviews in the coming weeks. Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, if it's not debated here, it's just not real. I'm Walter Bernasiak, and until next time, keep your great debate alive.